So I booked a hotel and we're driving up, and Eli, who was also like one of our founding members, dude, are you sure we're going to stay here? So I'm like, you guys wait in the car.
Oh, that would have been me for sure. I would have been like, this is super sketch. Like, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Oh, yeah. So I get out. I'm like, you guys stay. I like see prostitutes walking around the hotel.
No.
And like I literally saw a drug deal go down. And it was like a $300 hotel in West Palm Beach.
Wow.
So it's like,
cheap.
No, not cheap at all. And I got us all separate rooms. So everyone was stoked. We arrived there. And
they're like, no, we're all sleeping in the same bed together.
I walk in and I tell the lady, I'm like, look, we're from California. Like we're easygoing, like soft dudes. Like, is this a relatively safe? And she literally told me, she's like, tonight's not a good night.
Oh.
Literally, she was very transparent, and I was like, "Thank you for telling me this. Like, I really appreciate it."
What does that mean?
No clue.
Tonight?
No clue.
Tonight's not a good night?
Not sure.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Behind the Lockbox. I'm Stephanie Zalowski here with
Cameron Barbier.
And today we have a very special guest with us.
Very special.
Very special. We have Ethan Liu.
Hello.
Say hello.
Hey, good morning.
The people want to hear from you. By the way, your camera's back there. Oh, wait. Do you have a camera? Oh, yeah. He has a camera. Okay. It's been a morning. So Ethan is the CEO and co-founder, or founder, I should say, of Property Showcase Group. As you guys know, Property Showcase Group is our sponsor of this podcast. So thank you so much. We love you guys.
Likewise.
And we just wanted to kind of have you on to kind of talk about our origin story a little bit. And I know you have a couple stories for us, which, he was in town. So I was like, dude, let's record a podcast. Yeah. So anyway, Ethan, welcome to Behind the Lockbox.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thank you for being
Thanks for
here.
being in this country for like 1 second.
A day or
a couple
whatever.
more days and then departing.
Exactly. We don't, it's like, you're like a little bit like Carmen Sandiego. Like we don't totally always, oh my God,
I know. I always used to pretend I was her.
Oh my God.
You were the worst Cameron San Diego.
That's like the running joke. No one
really knows where you are.
Even my wife.
Yeah. I was actually going to ask, is she here? Is she in Brooklyn?
She just went back to Prague.
Oh, she's not even
That's
in the
a whole
country.
nother story.
She's not even in the country.
Well, she had to medically transport her dad back to Germany.
Oh.
Long story.
Everything okay?
But everything's good now.
Okay, good.
Sure.
Okay, good.
But yeah, people always joke they don't know where I am.
No, literally.
Max now knows, I try and give him as much heads up. He
because
knows
I'll
more than
literally call
anyone
Max
else.
and I'm like, where is Ethan today? He's like, let me check the calendar. Hold on. Anyway, not that we need you all the time. But,
Yeah. Well, it's great to be here. You guys, you run an amazing podcast.
Thank you.
Max and I, from the jump, we're really excited because you're just two great personalities, and we have spent a ton of time interviewing people.
Just kidding.
No, genuinely. I mean, I've personally interviewed probably 500 real estate agents.
You have
done tons of work in the development field. Like, we know when someone's good on camera or not.
Yeah.
You ladies are box office. You have the voice.
Wow.
Oh my God.
For sure.
Tell me more. Hair's up today and a sweatshirt, but like keep feeding me all the compliments.
No, genuinely, because we're friends, but also we're doing this because we believe in it.
And with that, like, thank you so much, because literally I called you. You were on maternity leave. I think we told the story during our like Thanksgiving quickie episode last year.
Yeah.
But like, I literally have thought about doing this podcast for 3 or 4 years, and it's, for anyone who doesn't, like, it's a lot of fucking work. Like, it's a ton, and it's a ton on your end as well. And it was a learning curve, but I called you that January and you were like, hey, what's up? And I was like, so I think I want to start you're like, tell me everything. I couldn't even get podcast out of my mouth. And you're like, let's do it.
I remember where I was. I was in the car.
You do?
Yeah. In New York.
Going where?
In New York.
in New York
Queens.
traffic, in Queens, specifically Queens. Yeah, it just like, this was a creative outlet for us, and she was on maternity leave. And I remember I was like, I want to see the baby. Can we meet for coffee? And I show up with like a notebook and like literally an outline of like the podcast.
I was like, we're actually doing this.
Yeah. I was like, will you do it? And she's like, sure. I'm like, okay, great. So here's what we're going to do. And she was like, okay. Like, there was really you were doing it regardless. Like, you had no choice. Yeah.
It's impressive what has been done. So many episodes, and the consistency, of course, that's like one of the most challenging aspects.
Yeah. It's hard.
And I also have to give flowers to Max, right?
My God.
Everyone, for real. It wouldn't be possible without Max.
No, it
filming
definitely
each episode.
wouldn't.
And then Luis, right? And
Yes.
the editing is what people don't really see, right?
I don't even see, like, again, I give my notes, right? And that was a learning curve in itself, because I have no idea what I'm doing. I had no idea how some of this post-production stuff works, or how audio or I mean, I know more about that than I ever wanted to, but it was cool. It was just a different fun thing to learn. You know what I mean? And so I think we're in a really good groove now, depending on the episode. Some of them require some of you crazy guests require a little bit more editing than others. But like the episode we have coming out, actually by the time this airs, it'll already be out. But like I literally was like, start, end, commercial. Here's our 3 teasers. Let's go. You know, so it was pretty easy. But it's just been fun. But it is a shit ton of work on all of our parts. So thank you so much.
And I like the long-term like mentality you have with the podcast.
Yeah.
Because I personally find, like, bringing it back to real estate is very transactional.
Yes.
Right? You think about most agents, it's the next deal, then the next deal. This it's naturally a long-term project.
Yeah.
It's going to take a year or 2 years or however long
10.
it's been. Or
I mean,
10
I
years,
have people, I have friends that have been podcasting and like they're finally really hitting their stride and like making good money 10 years later. I don't know that this will ever make money. This was more of, again, just a creative outlet in a world of real estate that is chaos, right? Like, and it just felt like I come from a place of laughter, and that's literally what our friendship is based on. Like, all we do is say inappropriate things and laugh all day, all the time. And so it felt like something that I needed personally. And I think that you agree, you know, that it was just a creative outlet for us to be able to laugh with our friends and talk about the crazy things that happen in this business and like shoot the shit with each other. And like, it also is building my relationships and your relationships with all these agents in the industry. And that's a really cool piece of it as well. So, and I hope it just brightens people's day. Yeah. Now we're just doing it like, you know, exactly. So anyway, Cam is going to have to leave in a few minutes because she has to go put her sweet baby girl down for a little napparoo.
Yes.
But what time is it? How much time do we have? What time is it? We've got like 5-10 minutes. Cool. We were talking last night in like preparation for this, because like we always prep, right? Was there a story that you wanted to like talk about to begin with? Or, oh my God, I just realized your mic flag. Can you turn it? There it is. For everyone on YouTube. Everyone else on audio is like, I don't give a shit. Anyway, okay. So do you want to tell one of your
stories?
Yeah.
Sure. I think we have a lot of stories, and I think the reason why is because
you guys see a lot.
We see a lot and we travel a lot.
Yes.
Travel is imperative to our business.
Yep.
You know, Max was in LA yesterday. I was in Phoenix. We had a shoot going on in New York, Atlanta,
he's texting me on the plane. He's like, I'm on my way home from Scottsdale. Can we talk in 10 minutes when I land? I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, I thought you were in San Diego this whole time. Anyway.
Yeah. And it's very, you know, like your industry, right? It's on a moment's notice. Hey, you know, weather's good. Can we shoot?
Yeah.
But by nature, like, we've had a lot of different chapters of our growth as a business. And in the olden days, Maxwell, like this, we used to share beds and hotel rooms when we would travel, right?
When you were sleeping alligators?
Exactly. Yeah.
Max is laughing in the corner. We still do that. Wait.
So I remember like one distinct moment of like where I was like, all right, we're doing pretty well now is when we could afford having separate hotel rooms.
And it's like you've made it.
Yeah, totally. And I was talking to my dad, because my dad also started business when he was around my age.
Yeah.
And he had that exact same moment. Like my partner and I, we can get different hotel rooms. Sometimes Max and I were like, do you want to just share a room? Like, because it's fun.
It's you. And also you can debrief and like you have your own separate beds. Like, I'm going to our Compass retreat.
Or do they? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to our Compass. Yeah, whatever. I'm going to our retreat at the end of the year. And I told my girlfriend, Ashley, I was like, let's get the same room, like separate beds, but like, let's share a room. Cause like, it's fun, you know, but it's true. When you can afford to like do that, you know, you guys have come a long way.
Yeah. And so we were in Palm Beach and I also am notorious for Max laughing.
I can hear him laughing.
I'm notorious for booking things last minute for 2 reasons.
Shocking.
Number one, I generally get better prices when I book last minute.
Oh, fair.
Hotel
Really?
Tonight. Yeah, always. So much of the margin we make in work is based on travel. So it's like all-inclusive price, and we try and make a little extra money on travel.
For sure.
If it's just an all-in price and we're not billing as a client. Anyways, I booked a last-minute hotel. We arrive, and I'm like, it's in West Palm. Do you know like West Palm Beach?
I have actually never been there, but my brother speaks very highly of it.
It's weird vibes. West Palm Beach.
Oh,
in
okay.
certain areas.
Okay.
It's just like you cross a bridge and it's like, you may as well be another country.
Oh my God. That's Florida for me. Sorry, all you Floridians.
For sure. And I live in Florida.
I love Florida, but like, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I booked a hotel and we're driving up, and Eli, who was also like one of our founding members, was like, he's a little bit of like the softie of the group, I will say. He's going to be pissed I'm saying this. But, he was
love you, Eli.
Dude, are you sure we're going to stay here? So I'm like, you guys wait in the car.
Oh, that would have been me for sure. I would have been like, this is super sketch. Like, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Oh, yeah. So I get out. I'm like, you guys stay. I like see prostitutes walking around the hotel.
No.
And like I literally saw a drug deal go down. And it was like a $300 hotel in West Palm Beach.
Wow.
So it's like,
cheap.
No, not cheap at all. And I got us all separate rooms. So everyone was stoked. We arrived there. And
they're like, no, we're all sleeping in the same bed together.
I walk in and I tell the lady, I'm like, look, we're from California. Like, we're easygoing, like soft dudes. Like, is this a relatively safe? And she literally told me, she's like, tonight's not a good night.
Oh.
Literally. She was very transparent. And I was like, thank you for telling me this. Like, I really appreciate it.
What does that mean?
No clue.
Tonight?
No clue.
Tonight's not a good night?
Not sure. But I didn't wait to find out.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say.
I was like, I'm out. Anyways, I go back. There's only one other hotel available in all of Palm Beach area. I don't know what was going on.
Oh, I don't know either.
So I book it, and the boys didn't trust me at this point. They're like, all right, let's see where you book next. And we arrive. There is no one at the hotel, and it felt half abandoned. And this is probably like $500. And I just booked one big room with 3 bedrooms in it.
You're like, give me the penthouse suite. I don't care. Like, we just need to go to bed.
We arrive and there's no one there. Not a attendant, not someone at the front desk. We saw like 2 people leave, but it literally felt abandoned. Anyways, finally
Did it look nice?
It looked honestly
Max,
it looked like it was under construction.
Was this a Motel 6? Did he take you to a Motel 6?
We have
photos.
It looked like it was under construction.
Okay.
So I was like, still like trying to calm them. Like, don't worry. Like,
calm them down.
It's a new development hotel, whatever, it'll be fine.
It's new dev, guys.
Finally, we get into the room and Max and Eli are kind of sketched out. And we look outside like the window from our hotel and we see another room and the TV's on in every single room, but there's no one there. So they're just getting like spooked out.
What?
Like, yeah, they're like, dude, we should leave. Eli's trying to get me to book another hotel. I'm like, dude, there's no other hotels. We have a shoot at 8 a.m. and I'm not driving.
This is not like you're out in the middle of like nowhere. You're in West Palm Beach.
For sure. But it was like very dark for some reason. There were no lights on around.
What was happening that she's like, tonight's not a good night?
Yeah.
You're like, anywhere?
It was weird. So we get into the bedrooms and everyone says goodnight. Eli takes his room. Max takes his room. Literally 5 minutes later, I hear Eli turn on the sink and the water just sprayed everywhere. Like nasty water just spraying all over the bathroom. Max and Eli ended up leaving their bedrooms because they were spooked. I was a little spooked, but they were more. And they crawled into my bed. And the entire night we shared
Is this true?
We shared a queen bed. A queen bed. Us
with
3.
all 3 of you.
Yep.
And okay, you're a smaller chap. You have got some muscle to you. You're not so much. Yeah. Eli's tall but thin, right?
Yep.
Oh, were you guys spooning?
Who was middle? Were you middle? Max. Yeah.
No way.
For sure.
So did anything happen or you ever figure out what?
I think Eli probably got only 4 hours of sleep. I slept like a baby. I was fine.
You're like, guys, it's
you
cool,
were like
cool.
getting spooned. And
you're like, the 3 of us are
great.
in one room. We're cool. We're cool. I can't believe you both were like, no, Ethan, we're sleeping with you in your bed. Scoot over.
Yeah. And then you wake up and it's like the most beautiful beach out front and we all go for a swim. And we're like,
oh, why were we scared?
Did you stay there a second night or just that one night?
We bounced for sure. I think we went to Miami after that.
You're like, we're going down to South Beach. Like, this is ridiculous.
I wonder why all the TVs were on. That's really spooky.
That was very spooky.
And then if the water, like, again, if it was under construction, I could see like if they had turned the water off and then turned it back on, like it would come spraying. But like,
but not. Yeah, that's weird.
But yeah, so every now and then we'll throw back, share a bed, share a room.
You know what? It's fun, right? It's just like camping like the old days, sleeping alligators.
Absolutely.
That was their previous name, by the way, before Property Showcase Group. So
I remember your old office. Is that what you called?
Yes. Beach.
Yep.
Yes.
For sure.
I know.
That was
known each other for a long time.
I mean, that just goes to show we've been working together
since 2016, 2017. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. So yeah,
sure.
It's wild, right?
How many years ago was that?
I mean,
let's not
do the math. Okay. When we come back, Ethan has a couple more stories. Cam's got to bounce, but thanks for joining us. Cam.
Thanks, Cam.
Yeah, good to see you.
Yeah, likewise.
Behind the Lockbox is sponsored by Property Showcase Group. Property Showcase Group has a team of creatives, directors, producers, editors, marketing specialists, and designers that work in tandem to tell and share stories of the built environment. Whether you're looking for full-service production or simply just in content creation, Property Showcase Group can help take your business to the next level. To learn more or to contact Property Showcase Group to schedule a consultation, you can find them at propertyshowcasegroup.com. That's spelled PROPERTYSHOWCASEGROUP.com. PropertyShowcaseGroup.com. All right, we're back. So Cam had to leave, but you still have another story or two for me. Definitely. So, and you said you had a question.
Yeah.
For me. Do you want to hit me with something first?
Sure, I'll hit you with something.
Okay.
I'm curious to know what the biggest surprise or learning lesson has been specifically for you in starting this podcast? Like, you know, it's going to be hard work. You know, it's going to be stressful. You know a lot about content already. What has shocked you? Like,
you know, I think what has surprised me, and this probably shouldn't have surprised me because it, like you said, I knew it was going to be a lot of work. I think and again, I am someone who is one of those people that is so hard on myself, and I was worried. You're always worried about like, oh, how am I going to look on camera? Or like, oh, I don't like that angle. I mean, Max knows I'm always like, pull the camera up. I don't like that angle of my arm. Like, I have a double chin, like, you know, all that stuff, right? That you actually get past. And it's so funny because everyone's like, you have such a podcast voice. Like, you said it initially and I was like, I do. But like, you know, it's so there's always the cringe moments where I'll even make fun of myself sometimes too on the podcast where I'm like, oh my God, what was that like high pitched noise that just came out of my mouth, right? But I think what I was hoping for, but also pleasantly surprised for, was how well it was received. Because listen, we're walking a line, right? Like, I'm asking fellow agents to come on this podcast and tell funny stories about things that they've seen or walked in on, or clients that they've worked with in the past or whatever. We are very, of course, you know, complimentary, and we don't talk crap about agents or the business, or because we love this business, like, and we're careful about what we say. And of course, if anyone says something that they want removed, we remove it. But I think, you know, the first couple weeks of it, I actually, my mom can attest to this, had a full-on meltdown because the first couple episodes, you know, again, I don't think people understood what we were really doing. Now people get it. Now people are asking to come on. People are sending me messages, or I see them and they come up to me and they're like, oh my, an agent I don't even know. They're like, oh my God, I saw your podcast. Like, I saw your stuff on Instagram. And it's like, it's just for all the hard work and blood, sweat, and tears that have gone into this, and the money and everything else. Like, I think I'm most surprised at how well it's doing and how well it's taken off. And our views, like, our views have been incredible. Like, not every reel goes viral, but some of them have 100,000 views. Like, I'm like, what? Like, 100,000 people are looking, 50,000, 20,000. Like, it's like, what? You know, and those are across the board, because for people who don't know too, podcasting is very hard to get analytics from. So until you really take off and again, a lot of people who have podcasts already kind of had a following on Instagram, or they're like D-list celebrities, or you know what I mean? Like, people when they're starting out as a nobody, which, listen, that's who we are.
In
like,
the media world. Yeah.
Correct. If you are a low-key celeb, or if you were on a TV show or whatever, like the Nick Viles of the world and Kristen Cavallari's and like all these people who already have a platform, of course they're going to shoot to number one in the list. Or, you know, like the Morning Toast, but she started out on Instagram as nobody and built her following there, and then they started their podcast. Yeah, totally. And so, you know, so when you're starting from literally zero, that's why I had no expectations. And I think that's what's been the most fun and most surprising, is like how well it was received, because it was nerve-wracking. I mean, the first couple of weeks, some people made some comments that I needed to get thicker skin. Like, I called my mom literally having a meltdown in my car in the middle of a parking lot, crying, because I was like so concerned. For people who don't know me, like, I'm extremely sensitive, but I also have a fuck around and find out attitude about me. So like, you know, but like I have a hard time when people misunderstand me, and I don't want to be perceived as something that I'm not. And this is coming from, again, this is something that was a passion project of mine, and it's coming from a place of genuine like curiosity and laughter and caring. And so when people say, a couple people, again, people that owe me nothing, did not matter, like, and they may have not even meant what they said by what they said, but I was literally like my mom had to be like, do I need to come there? Like, and I rarely get like that, but it was just something that it was raw and real, and I was nervous. And she was like, this is what happens when you put yourself out there, keep going.
Yeah. And you're literally putting yourself out there visibly,
physically, visibly, everything. Like, and I mean, this episode already aired, but a couple weeks ago, like, Cam and I were joking. We talked about like when I went to go freeze my eggs, like I didn't do it, but like, there's things that come up where you really do talk about the personal stuff, or we talk about what it's like to be a female in the industry and how scary it can be and how we find ourselves in certain situations. There was another episode where I talked about, and we wrapped, and Max was like, shit stuff. Like, I didn't know that happened. And someone tried to get in my car when I was sitting in a parking lot, and like something bad could have really happened. And it still rocks me to this day to think about. And so we get vulnerable and real sometimes on this, you know, show. And And so again, to put yourself out there at it, but most of the time it's funny and lighthearted, but sometimes it goes to a dark place. And so you just always want it to be well received. And I think that's been the scariest part, but also the most surprising, that I have powered through that and pushed through. And overall, sure, there's always going to be haters, but then they say you're doing something right, you know?
Absolutely.
I mean, if people are concerned about what you're doing, that's a them problem. That's not a you problem. 100%. So I'm like, thank you for watching. Thank you for
viewing. And in terms of viewership, I had this realization last night. I think we just in the media industry, right, we're desensitized to like what 500 views actually means.
Yes.
I was at a concert last night. There were like 400 people, and I was thinking to myself, 400 views, like that is still 400 individuals, even if it's 5 seconds or 20 seconds. All of them watching it. Right.
Who then collectively maybe go tell somebody else and share it. And and that's what we've been pulling as our stuff on Instagram has been the most successful, because again, when it comes to, this is for everyone out there who's listening and watching, if you could please subscribe and like and share, that'd be great. Because if I'm not getting the downloads and we're not getting the subscribers, we can't really, we're not able to really actually see. I have so many friends that are like, oh wait, I don't download it, I just listen. And then sometimes I stop and I come back, and I do this too with podcasts. Some episodes I'm halfway through and I'm like, I'm switching to another. It's just not for me that day.
Completely.
So it's difficult sometimes when you're trying to measure it that way. So social media has really been our biggest, whatever you want to call it, measure,
Absolutely.
So anyway.
It's super cool that, the barrier to entry there are barriers, of course, right? It takes effort and cost, but
money,
in general, like versus 10 years ago, for you to be able to start a business and a podcast in a sense, cool.
It is cool. And it's been really, really fun. And I'm really proud of all of us. And again, I just can't thank you guys enough for how much you guys believe in us in this project, because I'm a little bit of a, charity case with you guys. And so I love you so much. And Max will literally call or you and be like, okay, we were thinking, we have an idea. Like the fact that you guys are thinking about this on your own time when you have so much else going on and so many other clients that are bigger and more expensive and whatever, so I just, again, Cam and I are very grateful. Absolutely. Because it's cool.
And I think as a company, like we're very attracted to people who talk the talk and then execute, you had an idea and you actually went through it.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times agents or developers have called me, oh, I'm super into that idea. And that's natural, right? It's good to float around ideas, but like your track record is you followed up.
Yeah.
And so when we see that, we're like, of course, how could we not be part of that process?
Well,
which is
thank
super
you.
Cool.
We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So anyway,
absolutely.
It's been so fun. There's a little love fest this morning.
Yeah.
Okay. When we were talking at the break, we were like, first of all, talking about so many hilarious things that unfortunately we can't talk about right now, but it sucks for you guys. But you have a couple more stories, or where do you want to go first?
I'd love to give my team a shout out.
Please do. This is what this episode is for. This is all love for you guys and sponsoring us.
So at PSG, at Property Showcase Group now, we are a team of 14 full-timers.
Wild.
That's not counting, the
14 employees. Mm-hmm. That's insane.
Yeah.
Because it was like you, Max, and two other guys.
There were a moment where it's just Max and I.
I know.
Right? In COVID, I remember, us saying, look, if the ship goes down, we'll go down together.
I know.
Figure it out after.
Max, this is what's happening. I know.
And that's been fun. And of course, so many businesses can relate, but we have seen stages of rebuilding and for a 7-year-old company, right? We've had a lot of different cycles already.
For sure.
And of course, real estate has been, interesting cycles.
Has done that for us. Yeah. Itself. Right.
For sure.
Right.
And we like to think that like every single team member, even if they're not directly touching a project, truly has impact. We're all about like getting on team calls. We're mostly remote. We have like congregates or, specific parts of the country where we congregate.
Yeah.
But I want to give a shout out to our team.
Yeah.
What we really appreciate about our team is just amazing communication. Amazing communication. But all in all, I mean, our team is fantastic. We're
really
very
are.
diverse. We come from a lot of different nationalities, a lot of different ethnicities, different locations. We cover the South.
Different countries. Some of your employees are in different countries.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which is really fun. We're 14, but we're an eclectic group, different languages, different mentalities. More calls than not, people have contrasting ideas. It's not like a group of team members where everyone hops on and has the same concept, the same idea.
Right.
Every single call, it generally is a discussion.
Which is really good for the creative process. You know what I mean? Because everyone brings something different to the table, which is, again, why it's been so helpful for me on this side. Because, listen, I'm also still running a regular real estate business. Like this is just a side gig. And it can't take over what I'm doing on the daily basis, which is serving my clients and making sure I'm available. So like I'm editing these podcasts at night or on the weekends on Saturday mornings before my day gets started, or literally at 10 p.m. and I'm sending Luis and Max edits. And like, that's the time that I can do it. You know, it is literally just a side gig. Completely. And so same thing with you guys, like it, you know, you're working round the clock for your clients. And again, you're traveling, you're doing all these things, and our industries are very, very much intertwined. And, you know, video has taken over so much of the real estate industry, which is so great because we can share so much more of the day-to-day and cool different walkthroughs of properties and stuff like this. Completely. You know what I mean? So anyway, 100%. Yeah.
And, you know, Max and I coming to an age where we're ourselves, you know, thinking about buying a home at some point, things like that.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting for us to actually see in real time, like this actually is valuable to us as potential buyers, you know, because, you know, we started this company in our 20s on the younger side. And so we're now just saying like, okay, we knew it to be true, but now we're experiencing it to be true, which is super cool.
Yeah, it is
you know,
cool.
Like I actually do want to see a video of this house that I'm not in the same market as.
Yeah.
So I can know, should I take a flight and go view it?
Yes.
It has an impact.
It does. It really, really does. So I know, it's so cool.
Definitely.
I'm back to talk about our sponsor and producer, Property Showcase Group. This is for all my agent and affiliate friends out there. Property Showcase Group has a special offer just for you. The first 3 agents to email Property Showcase Group at teampsg@propertyshowcasegroup.com will get 1 month free of social media management using code LOCKBOX. That's right, 1 month free. And they're offering 20% off your first video production using code LOCKBOX. For more information, contact Property Showcase Group at teampsg@propertyshowcasegroup.com, and don't forget to use code LOCKBOX or mention this podcast. Wow. I think we have time for one more.
Okay, one more story.
We've talked, you were like going through some of the stuff that like, have you found, like, again, to your point, when you're traveling, you guys are not just like doing like big commercial projects or whatever, or like interviewing agents. Like you guys full on, for all the agents out there, and I think I've plugged this before, they do our listing videos, they do our walkthrough videos, they interview us, like whatever the case may be. So in that, have you found anything or walked in on anyone you're like, hello, we're here, oh my god, like sorry, just kidding? Like
definitely. I guess to give context, we do about 300 to 400 productions a year.
Yeah.
And insane. That's probably in more than 50 cities per year. So we're traveling, we have members all over. We've definitely walked into stuff. I mean, on the darker side, I've certainly seen my fair amount of drug paraphernalia, like hardcore stuff in places.
In like a listing.
For sure.
Was the agent present?
Sometimes, yeah.
And they walk in and they're like, oh, sorry about that.
Definitely. I've seen like pictures of naked homeowners on the wall where like a husband has like a picture of his wife just naked.
Just framed on the stairway, hallway wall.
And of course, I mean, we're professionals. We avoid capturing that, or we say, hey,
But like,
I had a homeowner say that he didn't mind if that was in the video.
You filmed it?
Yeah. We had
vagina hanging out, the whole thing?
That was covered a little bit.
Okay, so her legs were a little
But he didn't mind. She didn't mind either.
I mean, clearly not. It's framed for every guest to come in and see, which listen, the body's beautiful, but like, all right, okay.
Sure. We've walked in. What else? I mean, certainly fair share of people sleeping, taking naps, which is always fun.
Well, excuse me. Yep. Can you please make that bed on your way out? Thanks.
Definitely. But like everything that I like to tell our people, like just expect that you're going to find something everywhere you go.
Yes.
And handle it like a professional.
Correct.
Just handle it like a professional. Yep. It's okay to laugh. It's okay to, crack up about it.
Of course.
We're professionals. We're here.
Yeah.
And that's real estate.
Yeah.
I mean, you are walking into someone's home or someone's hotel room or whatever
Correct.
it is. Like, there are moments where I'm sure you wouldn't want someone to walk in here, or same with me.
Yeah.
It's your private space.
It's your private space. And,
sure.
I mean, so many stories have come out on this podcast of things that like agents have found, whether it's, for some reason, so many agents find dildos and I don't know why.
I once almost thought I found a dead body outside of a house.
Was it not a body?
No, it wasn't, but it was very sketchy. It was in Las Vegas, which is,
depending on the area, total sketch. Yeah.
Property. And it was like there was this towel with like what looked like blood, completely red. And there was what looked like an indent of a body and I was passing it with my camera, and I was like, oh.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. So
did you like peel it back?
I didn't want fingerprints.
Fingerprints. Everybody, I always ask. Everyone's always like, yeah, there was like this gun. I'm like, oh my God, did you move? They're like, no, I don't want my fingerprints on the gun. I'm like, I'd probably be like, what is this? Like,
I kept my camera recording.
I need to like be chill.
Yeah, I'm not educated.
That's wild.
But yeah, so I went and notified someone, but someone played a prank, making it look like there was a fake dead body.
For knowing that they were filming?
It was like
or just
community. Like it was like where like many people lived. Yeah.
That's not funny.
No, not.
Like I would have literally probably been crying. Like
it was freaky.
Wow.
And yeah. That was a stressful day.
Oh my God.
For
okay.
Sure.
Well, on that note, I'm glad the dead body wasn't actually dead.
For sure. But all in all, I mean, I am an optimist. And so I find that 99.9% of our encounters with tenants or with homeowners or agents are all positive.
It's also the energy you guys bring though too. Again, it's not even just being like you guys walking, you're like, hey, how are you? Like you're just so, again, your vibe attracts your tribe, right? Like the way that you come walking in, I mean, you have always been so pleasant, even under the most stress that we've been there a couple times with different listings and properties and teammates and things like that. And like, you've always remained professional and kept your cool. You're just like that.
The past is the past. There's lessons there, but we're always about what is the next solution forward.
Correct.
Just first principle thinking, what can we do right now?
Right. Because you just got to keep moving forward. There's no other way. Sure. So absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
That's why we love you.
We're a very non-dramatic team.
You really are. You really are.
Early days of entrepreneurship and founding the company,
it's stressful.
It was here and there, and we were younger guys and girls on the team.
Yep.
There's no drama.
No.
There's just,
and there doesn't need to be. You know what I mean?
For sure. There's no internal drama.
Yeah. Good.
Every now and then,
there's things that come up.
Head scratching moment with a client. And
correct.
Whatnot, but
which happens. We're dealing same with me. Like we're dealing with the public and. When it's not like we are a team, right? And we have been for so long. And so we just know each other so well. And like I run hot and high energy and like I am type A and I get a little stressed out and I'm very aware of that. And I will call him or Luis or you and I'm like, okay. And all of you guys are like, Steph, it's cool. It's fine. It's all going to be okay. And I'm like, okay. Especially in the beginning, like this was, I had no idea what I was doing. And you guys hadn't produced one, but it's the same of what you're doing now. You know what I mean? You have audio, you have video when you're doing stuff. So for you guys, it was pretty, we needed to get, kind of in a good space with how we do our edits and stuff like that. So it was a learning curve for sure.
And we love learning trial and error,
Yeah.
I like to say we don't really have many errors these days.
Yeah.
We've done so much in our field, but it's the way to learn.
It's true.
It's the way to learn. If I showed you some of the videos from our early days, oh man. I mean, we should have an episode internally where we just look at our videos.
I mean, our first podcast episode 6-7 months ago, you know what I mean? Just even like the angles that we were shooting in or like my voice or how I would, like I'm always trying to like kind of up that game and, you got to start somewhere. So
also no one on our team had formal training in filmmaking.
Yeah. So you're literally learning together.
Yeah. I studied urban design, which has some common denominators in real estate, of course.
Right.
But
not with
even our filmmakers on our team, Eli,
Yeah.
Houston, they did not study filmmaking. So, there's blessings in that, right? You have to kind of, teach yourself and there's great moments there.
For sure.
But yeah, it's just trial and error.
It is.
Some of the early videos, I mean, I look back on them, I'm like, how did we get paid for that? I'm talking like 6-7 years
Yeah, but
ago.
okay. The good news there is that video was just becoming really big in the industry.
Sure.
So we were all kind of learning together. It's now, if you started this now with like all of the different companies out there, like you guys, whether it's Drone Hub or whoever else that's out there that you're competing with, like some of those people, and every company has this, like some people hire for, filmmakers and people so that they can just automatically like be there. Right. Yep. But you guys started from the ground up and there's something really cool about that. And again, video was really just coming onto the scene in terms of that. And even when podcasting started, no one did video. They were just only on audio. You know what I mean? So it's.
And I think, moving forward, like every day I see a new real estate media production company come on. And there's, again, low barrier to entry.
Correct.
There's especially in California.
Just buy the equipment and start.
Yeah. You have a hotbed of filmmaking students who realize real estate's going nowhere.
Yeah.
Media's going nowhere. Let me get into the industry, which is why we got into the industry. So we've kind of continually defined our value add as storytelling within.
Right.
Right. Like every home has a story. Every real estate generally has a story that is interesting about a home or
For
about
sure.
a development.
For sure.
And we also don't just do single family residences. We do multifamily hospitality now. We're working with St. Regis.
I know. I'm so happy for you guys. That's huge.
It's a lot of fun.
It's huge.
For sure.
So it's cool that you were able, again, to diversify. Like you didn't have your eggs all in one basket. And it's, again, just like real estate. Like we need to be able to kind of, work with investors, work with buyers, work with sellers, like all those things in order to kind of, stay sharp and know the industry. And some agents do commercial and real estate or residential, whatever. So it just depends. But anyway.
And I think we also, as a company, like we all love the tech behind it. So like Max and I and Eli love nerding out about cameras or lenses or gimbals or whatever, and drones especially.
Yeah.
I guess I have a good crashing of the drone story.
Oh, wait, do I know this story?
Unfortunately, we've only had a couple small incidents with drone. First of all, we're 100% insured. Every single person that flies a drone is FAA certified.
Yeah, because we tried to fly our drone up at Union and it didn't work. Immediately landed. I was like, damn it.
We're very meticulous about the rules.
Yeah,
and a lot of companies
which is good. You need to be.
We don't take risks.
Yeah,
we are very.
Well, there's fines now and stuff, right?
Sure,
like you
and
can get. Yeah, I agree because we were talking about this at Union. I was like, so that means just some rogue kid who's 12 years old who got a drone, because you can buy these on Amazon, can just fly it up downtown near the airport. Like that is a problem, you know, like where ours he put it up and it immediately auto landed. And we're like, damn it, we were in the flight path. So there's nothing you can do.
No, it's a dangerous game. You have to do it right. And I have flown drone I probably was like one of the early drone adopters.
Okay.
Where all my friends were like, what are you doing? Like, that's so weird. You're like flying RC planes. I'm like, no, like.
You're like, yeah, it's really fun. You should try it. Yeah.
Watch the business I start with drones.
Exactly.
But anyways, I've only had one drone crash in my career.
That's
and
amazing.
It was with Max's drone in Puerto Rico. And it was 50% my fault. And what I'll say is I was flying in an area where I was legally allowed to fly over the ocean.
Okay.
And for one moment, I crossed into an area that was not in the flight path, but like starting to approach. And in Puerto Rico, they have a specific law that we weren't aware of, where it will automatically communicate with the drone and give you 90 seconds to land. And I'm way over the ocean.
So if you land, you're going in the water.
So I see the ticker, 90 seconds, and I am just full throttle, literally to the beach. I see the drone, full throttle,
you're like,
as
come on,
fast as I
baby,
can.
make it back here.
As fast as I can. It got 10 feet from the beach and it nosedived into the ocean.
No.
In front of my eyes.
Did it does it nosedive or does the propellers stop and it just falls?
No, it just nosedive. Yeah. 10 seconds away. It was
into the water.
Into the water. It was dusk. I was like, should I go in? Should I get it?
What if you did go in and get it? Is it even salvageable?
Well,
how waterproof are those things?
Not at all. they're now they are. Now they're coming out with waterproof.
Okay, good. Because like the iPhone now can survive in a little bit of water.
Yeah, no, these can't. And I felt bad because it was not mine. It was Max's. And I, luckily we like salvaged the footage because it downloads the catch to your phone.
That's good.
But I was I'm very.
Didn't you get a full I
have the
footage
video.
of the nose diving into the water?
We'll put the video on
we need to put the other photo of you guys sleeping in that bed together on YouTube as well. Max is laughing because I know you've got it, Max. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll stick. And Luis, put those both up.
I won't
on YouTube.
tell the other story, but that's unfortunately not the only.
Wait, didn't a seagull take out one of your drones?
A sailboat.
I thought a seagull.
Oh yeah.
No seagull took out a sailboat?
Well, it's always the issue. It's always
drone?
with Max's drone. Everyone else's drones.
Dude, don't
fine.
let people fly your drones
That's what I told
anymore,
him.
Max.
I literally said, "Don't let me fly your drone anymore."
You're like, I can't. The next day, you're like, hey, can I fly your drone? Max is like, no, you can't.
For sure.
Don't let people fly your drones anymore. I'm 0-3, so I'm done. Oh, he's done. He's not sharing anymore. He's 0-3.
I don't think he should.
Yeah.
His drone is his drone.
Oh my god.
100%.
Well, at least I swear a seagull once or
seagulls love like they pretend to come at your drone. It's like
they want to play the game.
They want to play chicken.
They're like, come at me, bitch.
Yeah,
you're like, oh my god,
like
no.
at the Aura House or at the Aura House.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Okay, maybe that's what it was that we were doing something there and you were like, oh my god, seagulls are literally trying to attack the drone. Like,
absolutely.
That's hysterical.
That was a fun project, by the way. The Aura
I
House.
know. That was a good one. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was very emblematic of our style of like filmmaking, documentary style, telling a story about.
For sure. Yeah, that place was sick. I know. We love them. Do you want to play a really quick game?
Sure.
Okay. We play this game with everyone, so I know you've seen it. It's called Punch List. So we're going to hit you with 3 questions. Cool. Okay.
You want short answers or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let's start with this one. If you could be anything other than what you're doing now, we normally say a real estate agent, but like in the real estate industry, what would you do? If you could do anything else but this industry and what you're doing now, what would you do?
Airline pilot.
You would. Oh my God. We've only had one other person say that, but he said he was terrified of flying. And then he started doing the like, hey folks, it's going to be out of the west and sunny. We were literally, do you remember him? I was crying. We were laughing so hard. He was hysterical.
Oh, I could probably
airline pilot. Yeah, that'd be so sick.
For sure.
Do you fly?
No, not yet. I fly drones.
You should get your pilot license.
Yeah. I have my unmanned license, so that's the start.
Okay. Can you get your full pilot license? And then can you also get a plane and then I can fly with you on it? Okay, great.
I'll work on it.
That'd be great. Because I like to take Gwen with me places. And
yeah, we can go Miami, Bahamas. We could do that route.
Yes. Can we go back to Turks?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, obviously we have clients there. So
there's actually a little private airstrip right next to the marina room. We could just fly right in.
And he's got those villas coming that we can stay in. Everyone already knows because they're so sick of me talking about my 40th birthday. But like, did not want to leave. Like, I was so sun-kissed and tan.
For sure.
Oh my God. Like, by the way, are you going back there anytime soon?
Probably.
Okay. I'm Max. I'm coming with you when you go. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, we always need PAs, so.
I'm there. I'll be like, hi, everyone. I can just walk around the marine room. I can interview them. I can do it all.
For sure.
I'll work for free.
Okay.
Just
Even
bring me
better.
with you.
Yeah,
okay,
all
great.
right,
Okay, great. What is your biggest pet peeve?
My biggest pet peeve.
In life, in the business, can be anything.
I'll give you two. My like weird, funny one is, and this happened all the time at NYU in class. People chewing really loudly in quiet places, but
I get
for
that.
some reason in school, all the time in like econ class, people would and teachers wouldn't care. I'm talking like chewing a loud apple or a bag of chips.
And they're just like crinkling it and like the lecture, and you're in lecture hall, right?
Like there's 70 kids here. Come on, like have a little. So I guess that's my
hysterical.
But I'm very sensitive.
Or like when people like take really loud drinks, like gulping. You know what I mean?
But
my
here's
brother
the funny
knows
thing.
it.
Like when I see my dog eating or drinking, it's like a soothing sound. I'm like, that you're drinking water so loud, but it's like
you're like, oh my God, you're so cute.
It's like a little fountain. I don't know.
By the way, total sidebar. Have you seen the dogs where people have trained like a big, a bigger dog, whether it's a golden retriever or like a boxer or whatever, they like drink their water and then blot their little face. Have you seen them do that? I was like, Gwen, you need to do, because I'm like, come on, man. Like, and she's so tiny, she doesn't make a ton of mess anyway, but yeah, we need to teach them that. Okay. So chewing and drinking loudly. What's your business
professionally speaking? Trying to think specific, but I guess I'm all about communication.
Same.
Like
time management. If you can't make something, just tell us.
We have clients that have not paid us for close to 2 years. And
Ethan.
Yeah, that's a whole nother, that would be a good story, but I'm hoping to resolve that soon.
And if you can come back on and tell us all about it when you fire them.
For sure. They're long fired.
And they haven't paid. Come on, people.
But my
pay your
specific
affiliates.
pet peeve is just like, if you just communicate with me rather than ghost me and just say, hey, I'm really struggling, or hey, can I split this into 24 months? I would just say yes. I'm very like generous.
I know you are. Because I owe you money right now. And you're like, whatever, just pay me when you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's like, you're like, you can pay monthly, you can pay quarterly, you can do whatever you want.
All you have to do is just communicate with me and it's no big deal.
And they've just gone dark. That's unfortunate. Okay.
Sure.
Oh, it's normally what's something that's like killed your deal, like, but you don't really have that.
What's killed the deal? We have something.
You have?
What has killed one of our deals? Definitely have some.
I mean, obviously not paying you.
That kills deals.
That's a fire.
Yeah, that's killed
or having an employee that does things that they shouldn't be. And then
lost clients.
Exactly.
What else has killed deals?
We normally, like for agents, we're like, what's the pettiest or stupidest thing that's like almost killed one of your deals? But probably not.
Almost fired a client because she screamed at me over the most menial thing on my birthday. I'm talking like.
You told me this story.
Yeah.
That's also okay. Again,
we no longer work with them, but
why? There's no need for yelling. There's no need for screaming. And listen, again, from someone who can have a little bit of a temper, like, come on, this is business. Like, keep it profesh, Anyway.
It was wild. It was because there was a fountain that was supposed to be lit up in the colors of the professional sports team in their city. And it lit up at night. And she wanted us to post it like the second it went on.
Okay.
And we were like 5 minutes late. And I was like, like it's 5 minutes after, right? We have to like.
It's still lit up though, right?
It was lit up for 24 hours. Yeah.
So what's the problem?
Not sure.
Well,
Not sure.
You know.
But it was also like my birthday, and we were in our old Encinitas office, like Max, our old partner, a couple other guys, and we were about to like go out to dinner for whatever.
Yeah.
It was such a buzzkill. I was like,
oh my God, sad. Well, I will never yell at you like that because I love you so much, and I love you too, Max.
Yelling has a place. There are a few moments where we're not yelling, but getting enthusiastic
and getting firm with people.
For sure.
For sure. I know. Anyway, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
This was so fun. We'll have to do this again.
Absolutely.
But for everyone out there, for every agent or anyone else listening, if you need Property Showcase's services, please go to propertyshowcasegroup.com. And I think we might even have, for agents out there, we are going to do a little bit of a deal. So that's coming soon. So you'll hear that on the commercial, but we'll also put that in the show notes. And yeah, thank you again for being here.
Thank you.
We love you guys.
Yeah,
all right,
likewise.
guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Bye. Thanks for listening. Behind the Lockbox is produced and edited by Property Showcase Group. If you like this podcast, please share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, or review this podcast. Thanks for your support. See you next week.